performance artist. Ladies and gentlemen, please a big round of applause for Kristina Wong. And look at you.
Look at you.
Oh. All right. You're welcome. You see, my audience is excited, and I'm sure you're excited to meet everybody. Oh, how far? You don't? They don't teach you.
How did they? How did they?
Okay, don't worry, don't worry. We'll get it.
How did they?
Oh, yeah, how did they? That's the one. That's the proper one. Okay, you're welcome. You come from a culture where Asian Americans, are supposed to pick a career in science, technology, engineering, mathematics. How did you end up with showbiz, and how were you able to, I'm sure, survive the pushback that came from family and everybody else?
Well, I ended up in the arts because of a lack of a good therapist. I think let's get with it. Like a lot of us who turn to art is because we just have no one to listen to us, or therapist is just one audience member, so we just need more audience to hear us out. How I dealt with the pushback, I think for me, I think what Nigerians, what I've noticed in the short time I've been here, and Chinese Americans have in common is this intense pressure to succeed and to be the best. And I think it became very clear that while I was really good in school, I was not going to be the best. But I could establish to my family, well, I can't be the best doctor, but I can be the only performance artist. Wow. I can be the only Chinese American performance artist.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah, this is not your first time on the continent. You've been to Uganda. Now you're in Nigeria for the Lagos Theatre Festival.
Yes.
Haven't seen the country, haven't experienced a bit of Africa, Uganda, and Nigeria. What is your experience of Africa versus the Africa that has been fed to Americans and the media?
Yeah.
What is the difference?
Yeah, I really love that I got.
At least for sure, we don't live on trees now.
Yeah, you don't live on trees, and you're not all adoptable. And I mean, I will say that there is a marketing mistranslation between what Africa is and how it's translated to the United States. And unfortunately, for a lot of my friends who are well educated, they only know of certain countries because a celebrity has adopted a baby there, right? We know of Malawi because Madonna got her kid there. We know Ethiopia because that's where Angelina got a kid from. I don't know who's gotten anybody from Nigeria, so there's not.
No, instead we've adopted lots of white people from the US.
Yes, no, I like that. Yes.
We have some of them here that we are feeding.
And me.
So how are you going to use your tool, comedy, to cut through these layers of ignorance and misinformation?
Well, I do this show, the Wong Street Journal, and which is about my time in northern Uganda, where I went to do volunteer work, and I was surprised how, as smart as I feel like I am, I had internalized a lot of horrible stereotypes about the continent. Especially because I got a packing list from the organization that came from that was like packed protein bars, and I was just like, is there no food? Is there no food in Africa? How do they keep 1 billion people alive? There's no protein? So very much a lot of it is making fun of myself as sort of in a way that a lot of very naive Americans can relate to, because I think I sort of portray a lot of the fear that Americans have about Africa that are really bad stereotypes.
Fantastic.
Right?
We are going to dig into all that, Kristina. Don't even go away. All right, we'll continue. We'll dig into more of that when we come back. Just keep watching. Stay there. Don't even move. All right. Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. I'm having a lovely time chatting with my guests, the fabulous Kristina Wong.
Oyibo!
Yes, Oyibo! Oyibo is in the studio. Yeah, we were talking about the Wong Street Journal. It has received acclaim as much as some people have criticized your very, very candid way. You've looked at, some topics like sex, gender, race, and all that. Are you using shock humor as a way of getting people's attention, or is it purely for entertainment?
I think it is a lot about getting attention. We live in a time where there's so much coming at us. Our Twitter feed is like 600 scary stories a day, and I think sometimes it is a tactic that has worked for many people to just to cut through the noise.
As a comedian, I can tell you it works. Sometimes you need to shock people into reality or shock them into getting there, especially for an Asian American who is supposed to be a doctor but is trying her hands in humor. People need to take you seriously. And sometimes to get them listening is to, say some of those things that they'll be like, wow. Where did she get her guts from?
I can definitely get a message across more dressed like a giant vagina doing stand-up than just kind of honestly chit-chatting.
I saw some of the clips on YouTube.
Yes.
And
my mother is proud.
And they actually caught my attention because, I've never seen, that big.
Yes.
Anyway, well, let's not go there for now. You did this rap collaboration with a Ugandan artist
named Nero Badman.
Yes, exactly. And now that you're in Africa's biggest music industry, are you planning to do something like that?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get discovered. I'm already like 2 days into Nigeria. I'm already on your show, so I think by the end of this week,
some producers will notice or will help hook you up. Who knows? Maybe you do a Niger-American collab.
Yeah, I would love to be. Are there a lot of Chinese Americans in Nollywood?
We have Nigerian Americans, but we don't have Chinese Nigerian Americans.
Here I am.
Okay.
Here I am.
Okay.
I'm offering myself to any casting
I'm sure we'll work out something. I'm sure we're going to work out something before you leave. Anyway, every time people come from other parts of the world to experience Africa, they like the African wildlife. Have you experienced a bit of the wildlife yet?
The wildlife? What is it?
I'm not talking about animals now because our animals are busy making money. Our animals are busy making money. They are going after the dollars now. They don't have time.
They're like cutting their own horns off, and they're like, who
people,
wants this?
You know how people come to Africa, I'm sure when you go back home, people like to know, oh, did you experience the safari, the wildlife? Did you go to see the animals? You know those kind of things, People talk about it a lot in America, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I
But that's not the wildlife that I'm talking about.
That's wildlife.
The other wildlife that does not involve animals. Like, are you catching fun? Are you meeting some black brothers?
Oh, yeah. I don't know if I've met any black people yet. I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay, that takes me to another very important topic because I read your bio. I followed you on social media, and I know you have the crush thing. You're not alone. Don't tell anybody. Don't let my wife know. I have a crush on Rihanna.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. Just in case you run into her in the States.
Okay, I'll
just let her know.
I don't know if she has an in Nollywood right here.
Yeah. I was going to, crush on Beyonce, but I don't want problems with Jay-Z. So I think Rihanna is pretty much free. But I know, talking about crush, that you have one on Jeremy Lin.
Yes, Jeremy Lin is the, I think, only Asian American basketball player in our NBA, and my future husband.
The most prominent, maybe the most prominent, and your future husband.
And
you have him on lockdown.
I have him on lockdown. We've never met, but it doesn't mean that I can't consummate our marriage. I have Jeremy. If you're watching Nigerian television right now, I just want you to know that I love you. I love you from across the ocean. Please, let's have a Nigerian wedding. Okay, we'll officiate the wedding.
Of course, I'll MC it.
Yes, I'll MC it. That's what they do here.
Free of charge. If it's Jeremy Lin, it's free.
Yes.
As long as you guys throw Rihanna into the whole mix.
Oh, yeah, she'll play. Rihanna, if you're listening, can you play my wedding with Jeremy Lin?
Yeah. I'm sure if Jeremy Lin says Rihanna will want to, she'll come. All right, let's leave them alone for now. Since the election of Donald Trump.
Who? Okay. Oh, yeah, that guy.
Since that election.
Yes.
The political divide in America has widened a bit. Nigeria is almost going through a similar thing here. The political division here, it's wider than it has ever been. How can, considering what you do, how can we comedians use the tools of our craft to bring people together, not losing fact of the very sensitive issues that has to be addressed every day?
One of the quotes that helps me so much is, it used to be that we listen to politicians and laugh at comedians.
Yeah.
Now we laugh at politicians
and listen to
comedians.
Exactly.
And that has made me realize that is
that's important.
the work that we do.
It's now time for us to use the tools of our trade now that people have our attention and they're laughing at the politicians, to talk to people, to talk about the matters in ways that we can come together and agree on something instead of fighting. Because I follow the news and I see how divided Americans are. And, it looks like we will need to be sending people there to go heal the country now. It used to be the other way. It used to be you guys sending aid. Yeah. Yeah, but I think we need you to come. I think you guys need some. We need to send you some elders with wisdom to go talk to us.
Please help us.
All right. All right. So now that you're here, what else are we planning? I understand that you have some things lined up during your stay here. You're doing some things with the girls as well. Yeah, some show that you're having.
Yeah, for the female comedians.
Yeah, the female comedians. I'm sure they're excited. I saw some of them yesterday. I'm sure they're excited to, build some kind of partnership with you.
Yeah.
How do you, leveraging on your experience as an Asian American comedian, how do you, what message do you have for young women who want to break stereotypes, who want to get out of the box? Fight the preconceived notions of what a woman should be and what a woman should not be, and just generally go ahead and be themselves. Yeah, what kind of message do you have for those?
I feel like for so much women, especially women of color, we have to think about the fact that there is no model for what we want to become. We have to be that model. We have to just keep walking and know the floor will be there, even if we're walking on air, and just take big risks and do it. We're going to be the first.
And just do it.
Yeah, we're going to be the first to marry Jeremy Lin, if you're Jeremy.
It's been so amazing talking to you. And I look forward to seeing you at your show before you leave. And
Shewa.
And whatever you need while you're here, just let me know.
Oh, we'll hook you up. Absolutely. Right? I expect to be in a movie by the end of the week.
Okay, fine.
Shot in one day, in true Nollywood style.
All right, it's been nice talking to the wonderful. Please, one more time, a round of applause. Oyibo in the studio.